Cool Handz Luke, Mike Hogg, Breathing Sunshine EP. So when I sit down and think of what I've seen in this life, it's not difficult for me to start to write, cause I've seen a lot of pain from behind these eyes. Been a witness, been a victim, been a perpetrator of lies. I try to jot it all down, put it in perspective, but it gets so hard when your heart is infected and your chest has an iron vest erected for protection, keeping everything at bay that may try to breach a section. In '83 the baby me came screaming to this world, said my name would have been the same if I was a girl, but I wasn't just a little boy, precious as a pearl, unaware that this place was so heartless and cruel. Who'd have known at 6 years old moms would pass? If I'd have been a little older I'd have probably hit the flash, but I was only still a youngster, so I had to go to class. And since it made me awkward, all the other kids would laugh at me on the playground, playing rounds of the free stack. When it came to teams, they was always picking me last, and sometimes not at all, cause I wasn't very fast. So I'd pick a spot and sit in the middle of the grass, and I would write like nobody was watching me. Way before Lucas ever offered me this beat, I was lost in my thoughts, caught up in a fantasy. Reality was something I didn't wanna believe. Fast forward 15, ain't a whole lot changed. I was picked on at lunchtime and people call me names. Way into art and music, so they thought that I was strange, but I paid them no mind and kept filling up my page in a haze of drug addiction. Made some really poor decisions that landed me in a juvenile correction, and it didn't take long for the judge to read me the sentence. He had every intention of teaching me a lesson. Locked up like an animal, they threw me in a cage, so confused and alone, and all I really had to say is so I asked myself, all I can really say is, so I asked myself, all I can really say is, so I asked myself, all I can really say is, traveled the world with this girl, she broke my heart across the ocean. Came back and got stabbed by the next love potion. Held on for years, refused to think that it was hopeless, and when she finally left, she really left me homeless. So this kid, he should've learned at this junction in the road. That's what you'd like to think, but the answer is no. By now out of control, making music from the soul, and he's out there on the road doing show after show. Met a girl, he got a gig that said that I could crash the spot. I said why not, because this shorty's kinda hot, but I was thinking something that it was definitely not. When I walked 6 blocks and she showed me to a cop, stopped by a cop driving, no license to be had. You can't imagine what happened after that. Had a couple old warrants that came up from the past. Can you please step out of the vehicle, young man? Oh damn, another running with the law, and everybody knows this is never good at all. But I did my time, kept my pride and stood tall, and changed my life when I hit the other side of the wall. Had a lady with a baby on the way and we're in love. We both quit smoking cigarettes and doing drugs, filling up the cold and lonely nights with warm hugs. But it was only for so long, then it became undone. Sometimes I think I'm cursed, or maybe even played, cause everything I touch seems to burst into flames. Why? So I asked myself, all I can really say is, so I asked myself, all I can really say is, so I asked myself, all I can really say is, there's a starving family right around the corner on your block. A homeless man you walk past every day and never stop. Somebody that you work with having suicidal thoughts. Someone else is trying to save a dying relative at any cost, but the price is rising, climbing higher with the passing day. Rest in peace my man Trinidad, he's in a better place, but the pain in my heart will never be erased. So I focus on the beat and keep filling up the page in a fit of rage. I lost everything I had. Ever since then I've been fighting to try and get it back, but I got Gotta keep a level head and formulate a plan. Create a strong defense that can support an attack. And it's on like it's never been before. Not even on a vengeance or to settle a score. Here to give something back to the struggling poor, instead of whipping on their backs and treating them like whores. Screaming till I'm hoarse, and my voice is dead and gone away. But I don't think you're hearing what it is I'm trying to say, cause people are heartless and cruel. It's a really sad state. All they wanna do is text and never face to face. Playing games in this day and age is a way of life. But just because everybody does it doesn't make it right. Right, doesn't make it right. Just because everybody does it doesn't make it right.
How can people be so heartless? How can people be so cruel?